Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to this week's Astro Oracle reading where I take 3 cards per zodiac sign. You're going to get 9 cards at the end of this reading. You're going to get 3 cards first from your sun sign. Then you're going to take the next 3 cards, which is your ascendant. Then you're going to take 3 more cards, which represents your moon. And once you see those 9 cards together, they tell a story. They give you a really intimate glimpse into what you're experiencing this week that adds to the energy of the week that we talked about yesterday. Now, this is a contemplative week yet again. We are coming up to the end of Mercury retrograde, finally. We also, by the way, have our big solstice party this Tuesday night. I'm super excited. You better come. It's totally free, and we are going to have the time of our lives. Great special guest, Jennifer Rasiopi, who is the phenomenal astrologer and author of Cosmic Health, a bestseller, Cosmic Health. It's a phenomenal book. Okay, so if you don't know how to get your chart, we did do a video. So if you check my videos here on YouTube, there's a video that says, what's it called, Mark? How do you read your birth chart at astro.com?
Up here.
Up there.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm not very good with directions. Okay, so Aries. Let's do Aries. And I love it when you astrologers come and tell me how it meant, what it meant to you, and also people who are astrology buffs. Ooh, okay, you're having a bit of a week this week, Aries. Basically, this is a warning for you to not step into anybody else's business this week. Even if you might want to, there's a sense of having to let go what didn't work. But not only that, it's more about if somebody else has sadness, if somebody else is going through something, if somebody else is impacting you this week, to be very mindful to protect your end of it. So not only does it suggest you not to step into anything, so it's kind of like get rid of drama, but not just that either, but to recognize that someone else's mistakes or their bringing you stuff could impact you in a negative way. Okay, so you want to make sure that you stay out of trouble. And what is it when you say let go of your losses? Like really cut your losses. That's it. Cut your losses and make it much more of a, that's it, clean cut. The other thing that this could represent for you too, Aries, is that you may have forgotten to do something. Like for example, you may have forgotten to turn off a piece of equipment. Oh, well, something like that, like forgetting to turn off your alarm and then it going off in the middle of an interview or in a recording. So, but you know what I mean? It's like I've left my computer on sometimes and it's supposed to go to sleep and have that thing and it doesn't, and then it drains all of the power out and all of a sudden you're looking like, that's the kind of thing it could also mean this week for Aries. Okay. And that means you can avoid it too. So if that energy really makes sense to you, then you go, okay, I know what to do. So that's what these cards are really good at doing, is telling you what to avoid. So this is any kind of difficulty is avoidable. That's why we do these readings. Okay, now let's take a look at Taurus. Taurus for this week, here we go. So follow the leader, come together in protection, and then strength. So things may not jive for you this week, Taurus, and that's okay. You could have gone down the wrong road, followed the wrong person, listened to advice that, it didn't really work, but that's fine. It just means you get to start again. So there's a lot of restarting for Taurus this week. You might have to cancel plans. There's definitely, you have to put some things on the back burner this week for Taurus. So, and because the strength card is there, it says it's not going to hurt you in any way to do this, right? So it could be that a big pivot happens for you this week, Taurus. And other ways to look at this would be just you need a break. So you actually say, you know what, I'm going to follow my heart instead of what they say. It's also about like what's your conditioning to people's, why did they tell you this? So like it's a real way for you to say, if I'm really going to be in community with other people, I might have to change that. So these are the kind of things we'd be thinking about for Taurus this week. But strength card shows you're good, so. Okay. I'm excited to hear what Jennifer has to say about this week too when we talk to her Tuesday night for the party. just because she's really good at just kind of describing also all the energy. It's a celebration ritual. Yes, it is a celebration ritual. And it's a party because I'm I call celebration rituals parties. I like them. I don't go to parties. That's my idea of a party. Okay. It's a celebration, yes, and a ritual and a beautiful activation meditation and a great talk with Jennifer about how to bring the solstice energies into the rest of the year. Okay. Gemini, unexpected visitors and protection also come together in protection and magic prayer and protection. So this for you, slow right down. Okay, so right now it'd be like, do I want to answer the doorbell? So there could be some unexpected things that come up for you around your community, Gemini, this week that will show you what you need to change because you've asked for it. So the magic prayer and protection also reminds you that you have to remember your conscious contact to your higher power and that this isn't all on your shoulders. So there will be some shifts in, now this could be the small community, say a family or your business, your office could have some, changes in it. Again, these are people changes. Or your community, where you belong, you might change, you decide, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to do this instead. So yeah, this is really about questioning some of your commitments and your decisions around community and groups. It's a great week for you to make some changes in this department. Here we go. Let's see what Cancer has in store. Well, that's a rock bottom card. Slow and steady. And education. Okay, so you remember the whole week's reading was about facing lessons you may not have learned yet or that you don't believe that you've learned. So you have an opportunity to revisit them again to see how far you've come. So what this is saying is that not to expect, Cancers, for you to know everything. You can say, I don't know.
Hello.
Hello. Hello?
I was fixing a light.
Oh my God. I'm like, what? Okay. So I thought he was making a point of reminding me that I don't know things. So it's okay to say you don't know this week and to realize that there's so much more to learn and you can be slow and steady and you can say, you know what, I haven't learned that yet. I didn't know that. Hey, I didn't know that. So therefore, you can move to a new level. I love this card, Rock Bottom, even no matter whether it's upright or reverse, because it really reminds us that it heralds a big change and a transformation. In this case, it's for you, Cancers, or myself. Okay, so let us look at Leo. Leo. Okay, again, in upside down cards. So this is a protection card, wide open. Education is upright and encouragement is upright. We have a lot of similarities here. So for you, Leo, you can remember that when wide open is in the protection position, I find that to be a very accurate statement of honoring your limitations and your boundaries. So when the wide open card comes there, it's not a time to take a risk. And it's not a time to venture too far out of what you're in the middle of learning because you also don't know yet. So it's a beautiful week for you to feel that sense of encouragement that how far you've come a long way, and you realize that not all things are available to you. You are not always going to be the teacher. You're not always supposed to be that person. And you really you're also showing to yourself this week that you have learned a lot of things too, and you're still learning. So this is the week where hubris is not part of the plan, and it's more of this sense of feeling encouraged to keep going with the work that you're doing, and it's the inner work that it's talking about. And recognizing your limitations and also the limitations of others. Sometimes people just don't have what it takes, or you have these expectations on people that that they're not that. So, and it's not their fault, and they don't have to be that. So it's kind of like the idea where you've got a kid, for example, and they're really bad at math, but you insist that they get straight A's, but you don't realize that the kid is having a really hard time with math. So you push that and you realize, oh, I have not accepted them as they are. So this is also getting everybody right-sized, because it's not fair to other people when you put them on pedestals or when you also have too high expectations for them when they didn't sign up for your expectations, right? So but it's a nice week for you, Leo. It's nice, lots of encouragement. Now let's take a look at Virgo. Dear Virgo, here you go. Peaks of joy in the protection position. You have to let yourself celebrate sometimes. Aw. Oh, this is a really interesting reading. So you may have had to let go a dream. Okay, so for example, you think you wanted X, but you really found out that X wasn't good for you. So Y is something you didn't plan for. And it's like hard to be happy about something that you didn't ask for, you didn't want it, you didn't think you wanted it, but you actually get what you need this week. So it's about letting go a dream that just doesn't suit the new you anymore and feeling sad about that, but also allowing yourself to celebrate the loss, right? That's the other thing. So as much as that doesn't make sense, it should, because if you lose something, it's actually in your benefit this week to not get what you want. That's excellent, excellent, excellent. So Libra, you have, this is a break week for you, that's for sure. Oh yeah, this is great. Oh, this is very good. So remember I said don't clean up anybody else's side of the street, and the cleaning house card was on the upright position for the week. That was our main card for this week. But in your case, it reminds you as well to, to not deal with other people's stuff. So if they're projecting stuff onto you, if they're dealing with stuff and they expect you to fix it, that's not yours to fix. So you got to remember that too. Nice boundaries for you, Libra, this week. Dry desert means that this is a week for you to be a little bit more resilient, and I say resilient around your boundaries, and this will bring you a really nice spark of creativity. So saying no to drama, saying no to the outer world, saying no to all the clutter of others is going to enable you, instead of trying to get in there and fix it all and codependently make everybody happy, making harmony at all costs. This is saying, screw the harmony, just go be out by yourself. Even though you have some resistance to that, stay away and know that you are in a very creative, very fruitful, very fertile time to be creative this week. So just focus on that and less about other people, and you're going to love it. Okay. Scorpio is next. All right. That card was there, so I want to turn it over. This is Deep Freeze, Spark, and Sacred Pool. Yay. So Deep Freeze in the protection position for the Scorpio, and I think you've had that card a couple times in a row now. I'm pretty sure I've seen it come up for Scorpios more than once. And that's about spring, the thawing of the parts of you that was frozen or that seemed frozen. It comes out of you by this spark of creativity and a real sense of loving life, and recognizing in your self-reflection that you are more than you know, that you are so much more than your conditioning. And that's a really beautiful thing for you to learn about yourself this week, Scorpio. And that's a pretty short but simplistic and very accurate reading. Now, let's take a look at Sagittarius. Okay, here we go. Listening. This is a great, stuck in the mud. And sad, and lots of sad. Man, I wonder what's going on in the collective right now, because there's lots of people have been getting sad. Embrace. Okay, listening. If you have deep listening, then it enables you to be more connected to other people, because you're not just all about yourself. And when you get stuck in the mud, it could be because your life has been suction cupped onto the end of your nose, and you want to be like the little bird on the back of the elephant, where it's looking around, the elephant's stuck, but the little bird's going, oh, look what I can see. So it gives you a 360-degree view of your life that I think is going to be very beneficial to you. Then we have sad embrace in the protection position, which is really about, as well, taking a moment to really let go and to let go of the things that you thought you needed to define yourself, that you were so sure that made you who you are. And it could be that those things aren't necessary anymore for you to identify yourself with. This is a quite philosophical week for you, Sag. Now let's take a look at Capricorn. Capricorn, here we go. Education for Capricorn too. So Capricorn, here we go. And the next card is Sad Embrace. I can't believe you guys see me how I'm shuffling all these things. There's no way this is, Details. So the lesson for you, Capricorn, is that you may not have known you might have caused some trouble in the past or been involved in some trouble in the past, but you actually didn't have all the details. So you may be feeling sad because you discovered some details you didn't know that changed the trajectory of your feelings or your commitment to something or your understanding of something. So this is almost like you feeling ashamed about something. So be aware that this could come up for you this week, and remember that you're just learning. So whatever it is that you might not have known, it's because you didn't know, because you didn't have access to the ability to know. So you have to give yourself a hall pass this week, Capricorn. You just didn't know, and you were easily fooled. All right, so now let's take a look at Aquarius. I want to know what's going on this week. Okay. Aquarius, here we go. Magic prayers in the protection position. So, how interesting is this? Okay, so you have magic prayer and protection. You have to remember that you're not doing this world alone, other people, but also your higher power is your protector, and your sense of being connected to the world comes through your higher power. So you're not doing this world alone. And so because follow the leader comes after that, it's like, who are you following? Are you just looking at the ground, or can you involve the cosmos too in your decision making? So this is really important that you do that, because from that you get your strength back, because it says here you are a weakened person if you are putting a person on a pedestal and following them, or also putting the materialism of the world as primary. Your primary relationship is actually with spirit. And once you get that, everything looks like it works out beautifully. And now last but not least, let's take a look at Pisces. Okay. Here you go, Pisces. Golden Palace in the protection position. You might be a little bit worried about money this week. Although the gentle gardener is there, it looks like scarce. It's not money. It's about just the concept of scarcity, the scarcity consciousness, the poverty consciousness, which is that there is not enough, or I am not enough. All right. So be really mindful about that, because it's going to impact your choices this week. So if you could shift your mind out of this sense of there's not enough and into a sense of there is enough, then you will reap what you sow, right? So you want to make the choice that leads you into the abundant concepts, as opposed to you constantly looking at the hole in the donut, because that's not going to serve you this week. Okay, that's everybody. Subscribe to my channel, smash that subscribe button. You'll see a little bell come up, and click on that. You'll get a notification every time. Come to our event Tuesday night. It's going to be so much fun, a fantastic solstice celebration. Hope to see you there. Link is somewhere. Take care.